Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm actually doing a kind of random video. I'm sure it's somewhere out there, but I wanted to do a video on just like apps that I use as a first-time mom and Instagram pages that I follow that I feel like are really helpful. So I decided to do that today. If you guys are new here, hi, my name is Chelsea. I'm a first-time mom to a almost 8-month-old baby girl named Penelope. I do motherhood related videos on this channel as well as like lifestyle, and I do some vlogs. So if you're interested in those kind of videos, don't forget to subscribe before you leave. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and you can ask any questions in the comments area. I try to answer everyone. Quick little side note, yes, that is a Christmas tree up in the background because 2020. I just feel like I needed some holiday cheer. There's just a lot of things going on, and I just wanted to put up my tree early. This is the earliest I've ever put up my tree, but you know, it is what it is. So let's get right into the video. Okay, so I'm gonna go over just the apps that I use first, just because I think it'll go a little quicker. I only have 3 that I use all the time, so I'll go over those 3. You guys have probably heard me talk about them if you have been following my channel or me on Instagram. I talk about these kind of things all the time over on my Instagram, but I haven't really mentioned them too many times on my channel. Probably, I definitely have, but you know, more so on my Instagram. The first app that I use all the time that I think is super helpful for first-time moms, in general is the Huckleberry app. So I'll pull up the app while I'm talking so that you guys can kind of follow along. So the Huckleberry app I've used since I brought Penelope home from the hospital. It's just really nice to be able to track everything. So this is the app that I use to track everything: sleep, feeding, diaper changes, pumping, medicine, everything. So that's what I use this app for. There are, you know, different kind of tracking apps. This one just so happens to be my personal favorite. And I have mentioned actually this one in another video, how I get my newborn to sleep through the night video, and I mentioned it because it also gives you a sweet spot setting for when you're tracking your child's sleep, your baby's sleep. So for example, if I put Penelope down for a nap, when she wakes up, it'll give me a sweet spot of when she's supposed to be going back down for her nap according to her age. So I think that's helpful. I don't really use it anymore, but just so you guys know, and I forgot to put down when I put her to bed, so I'm actually going to write it down. It was right around, or log it in. It was right around 9:45, and I'm just gonna start the timer. So that's what that is all about. Again, also feeding, diaper changes. As you guys can see, I don't really track her diaper changes. Her feedings, I don't really track anymore, but I've used it consistently since the beginning, and now I'm just kind of using it here and there, mostly for her sleep, for her naps, and mostly if I want to track her feedings. Oh, and I do use it at work for pumping. So for example, when I'm pumping, I will put on the pumping timer, and I will just start it while I'm at work, and it works great. Let's reset that. I'm not using that. And you can also put reminders for when to remind you to pump. I just know that I have to pump every 2 to 2.5 hours, so that's just what I go by. But love this app. I use it still, like I said, to this day. Not as much as I did in the beginning, but I think I will probably use it until she's about a year old. And then after that, I don't think I'll really need to use it much, but love it. Okay, that's the first app. So the next app that I want to talk to you guys about is the Wonder Weeks app. So I always get questions about this whenever I post about it. I always put this on my Instagram and show you guys that Penelope's going through a leap, and I'm like, oh my God, this leap is probably going to be terrible. But this, I don't have another leap until 17 days. It says 17 days until her next leap. I'm just realizing that right now. But basically, if you don't know what a leap is, it's a developmental change in your baby. There's a huge one that happens during what you guys might have heard of the 4-month sleep regression. So it's just a change in their development, and it can cause changes in their behavior or, you know, how they're sleeping, things like that. So it's just kind of good to know, just in case you need some kind of like peace of mind if your baby is acting differently and you kind of want to figure out what it is and you don't know what's going on. Most of the time I've noticed it's a leap. It is one of those apps that you have to purchase, but I personally don't mind because I think it was like $1.99, and I think it's worth it. It also gives you like all these helpful videos and goes over different things about the leap, and it can also connect to your calendar. So it will pop up when she is going through a leap on my phone, which is helpful. So the last app that I want to say, I don't use it all the time, but it is good, I think, to have, is the What to Expect app. So when I was pregnant, I downloaded the What to Expect app. I loved it. I loved seeing like the different fruits or things that she was at the time while I was pregnant with her. But now I actually use it because it shows me like her month by month, like what developmental milestones she should be hitting, or like gives you little tips and things. But the main thing that I love it for is the community tab on the bottom. I am part of the April 2020 babies, baby's first year, breastfeeding, hot topics, and March babies, because she was technically supposed to be born in April, but she was born in March. So I just like to be part of both of them. But I don't know if it's sign up or how you want to explain it, but I'm a part of those groups, and I get emails all the time that pop up saying like, oh, my baby's doing this, or what's your baby doing at this time? But I get email pop-ups regarding all of these topics or all of these forums, and I think it's super helpful because once in a while there'll be a pop-up that says something like, oh, my child is latching weird, or I don't know, it'll just be something where it'll relate to me, and I can pop in and click on it and see what everybody else is writing, and it's just like a little community. So I love that about it. That's probably my favorite thing about the app, but again, it is nice to just kind of see different milestones that she is supposed to be hitting or can be hitting, or whatever the case may be. Those are the 3 apps that I use all the time. I think only 3 apps that I use really when it's concerning her, except the Owlet Care app. But if you guys don't have the Owlet, then obviously you wouldn't need the app. But if you do have the Owlet, it is really helpful to track your baby's sleep and see how they're, when they wake up, when they're in a deep sleep, while they're breathing and all that stuff. So if you guys have the Owlet, I'm sure you guys have the app already. Let's get into the Instagram pages because I don't want this video to be too long and I already feel like I've been talking a hot minute. I'm gonna go down the list. So the first one on my list is called Moomy's Milk. So this is really helpful if you're breastfeeding. If you're not breastfeeding, they do post some things, but I think it's the most helpful if you're breastfeeding. I've found super helpful things that they have posted on there. So I'll just put a pop-up here so you guys can check them out if you're interested. I love all of their breastfeeding kind of memes or whatever posts, whatever you want to call it. And I have sent some of them to you guys who have had questions about different breastfeeding things. And I feel like I said, they're super helpful. And I just realized in their bio, it says download your PDF and order your cookies here. So I guess they also have like cookies, like milk producing cookies. What are they called? Lactation cookies? Lactation cookies. The next one is Breastfeeding Mama. This is another breastfeeding page. I'm sorry, I'm a breastfeeding mama, so I follow a lot of those pages and I just wanted to pinpoint quickly the ones that are important. But this one is a certified lactation educator. There's a million of them on Instagram, but I don't know. I just stumbled upon her page and I like her personally. She posts very, very helpful tips. She also has things on here like solid foods, baby products, postpartum, tongue ties, baby wearing. Like, she seems to be very helpful. And I have reached out to her actually once. I had DM'd her about a question that I had, and she answered me. So that's also helpful. So those are the 2 breastfeeding pages that I follow that I love. So the next one is Big Little Feelings. This is a big one, no pun intended. I love this account. It's a very popular account. I've heard many influencers talk about it, but they're mainly a toddler, I want to say, based page for kind of trying to understand their feelings, like toddler feelings, and how to manage that and how to react to certain situations and how to just, I don't know, be a good parent when it comes to listening to your child and how to deal with their certain feelings. So instead of tantrums, it's kind of like big feelings, big little feelings that they have. And I think that's really great. So I have learned so much from them. All their posts I read. And although I don't have a toddler, I'm just getting prepared for that because I do want to do things a little bit differently than how my mom did things with us. And I'm not bashing my mom by any means. I mean, they didn't have the resources that we have now to kind of understand how, we're supposed to be feeling or how we're feeling in certain situations. But there's just so many things that I've learned that I'm like, oh my God, like I totally feel this way as an adult because of how my mom handled certain situations when I was a kid. And I'm not a psychiatrist, and I don't think that everything is down to that because of this one page, but there are things that definitely make sense. I, again, think they're super helpful, and I've just been constantly reading all of their things. So that's one of my favorites. Raise Good Kids. This is a really good one too. This is one of my favorite ones. I would say Big Little Feeling, Raise Good Kids, another one that I'm going to talk to you guys about, and Mumi's Milk is probably like my top 3 or top 4 that I follow. So Raise Good Kids, they have a podcast. I don't listen to podcasts, but their posts are super, super helpful. Again, another one of those accounts that kind of help you understand why your baby is feeling, or your toddler is feeling the way they're feeling, how you can manage that, and how you can kind of be, I want to say like sympathetic, empathetic, understanding of them, and know, like, again, how to handle the situation, I guess. But just so many great posts. Like every single one of their posts I've read. Like every time they post, there another one where I've just read it and I've like tried to absorb it. I've saved some things, because right now Penelope's still too young for me to really apply a lot of these things, but I just really try to educate myself so I am prepared for when these things happen. Next one is taking care of babies. A lot of people say taking care of babies. It's taking care of babies. Her name is Kara, and I guess it was just like a play on words. This I've talked to you guys about a bunch. Even my pediatrician has recommended me to follow her, or to kind of try to implement some of her sleep, what's it called? Not sleep tactics, sleep, the word's gonna come to me later, but she's a neonatal nurse, certified pediatric sleep consultant. She's a mama to 4 and wife to a pediatrician. So she posts a lot of helpful things with regards to sleep. We were just going through the daylight savings thing, and so I went to her page right away to try to figure out what I was supposed to do, and found some helpful tips. So she's great. She has over 1 million followers, so a lot of people seem to really swear by her, and I've never taken her course, but I would say almost everything that is regarding sleep with Penelope, I have learned from her and applied from everything that she has shared on her Instagram. So super helpful page. Feeding Littles. Okay, now on to some feeding pages. So if you guys know, or if you guys been following me for a little bit, I am doing baby-led weaning and purees. So this is a feeding page all about how to feed your baby, what to feed your baby, what's safe for your baby, how to introduce allergens, just a whole bunch of things. I'm pretty sure that they do baby-led weaning mostly, but it's still, even if you're not doing baby-led weaning, it's still like educational in the sense of like what's good to feed your baby and things like that. So I do follow a whole bunch of other feeding pages. I'm just gonna say that's like my main one, because there's so many different pages that I follow, guys. I follow so many helpful pages. I'm just trying to give you like the core ones that I follow, because I don't want this video to be too long. Another very helpful page for foods, Starting Solids. Starting Solids is a baby-led weaning page. So again, if you're not into baby-led weaning, I don't know if it's 100% for you, but they post a lot of very helpful things. Very similar to like the other baby-led weaning pages that I follow, but I do find them very helpful, so wanted to mention them. Okay, Peanut. Peanut is a page that I believe was started through an app. There's an app called Peanut. And I think it's, I could be wrong, but I think it's to like link moms to other moms, to help each other out, like to be friends. I could be totally wrong, so don't quote me on that. But I haven't looked into the app because I'm really not, I don't have the app. But just the page itself has so many like cool quotes, inspirational quotes. I repost them all the time on my story, just things I'm feeling, things that might help you if you read it, kind of thing. So that's really what they are. They're mostly like a quote kind of page, but I love them. I love reading all their quotes, and sometimes I'll read a quote and be like, oh, that's totally me, and it's just like cool to feel that. So that's why I follow them. Okay, this is one I should have said right after Feeding Littles, but excuse me, you know, mom brain. This one is called My Munch Bug _ Melanie Potok, I believe. So she talks about a lot of things that are more helpful, like what to use as far as like drinking out of for babies. Like you shouldn't use a sippy cup because of certain things, or you should use this kind of straw because of this. So that's kind of what she talks about. It's very educational, I think. And so that's why I follow her. It's not like you're gonna see like meals broken down and like what you should be feeding your baby. It's more kind of like, oh, use this spoon or this fork, things like that. So, okay, simplywell.baby. So this page is more about just your baby. In her bio, it says educational, not medical advice. And she has a free printable tracker in her bio as well. So I love all her stuff. Pregnant chicken. So this one is honestly, I threw this one in here for you guys just because it's funny. It's like a meme page and it just has like funny things, uplifting things, also some serious things, just like real mamas, real stories, funny memes. I don't know. I really like their page. I repost their stuff all the time, so I had to kind of mention them. This page is by a PT physical therapist, Brittany. It's called mommyandme.pt, and she posts a whole bunch of helpful things with regards to your baby. But like, for example, I saved this post that she posted on what to look for shoes for walkers, because Penelope will be walking soon, and she posted a post all about that. So things like that I appreciate. Again, I get a lot of my information from social media, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. These are doctors. Some of them are experienced mamas. Like, this is an amazing time to be a mom, like having resources like this that people didn't have. So I follow her, love her. Okay guys, I think that is all the pages that I'm gonna mention today. I probably could do part 2, 3, 4, 5 of this, but follow me on Instagram if you want to see more pages that I follow, because I'm always adding stuff to my story and, you know, giving you guys ideas on things like that. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!